Did you know that somewhere out there, a grown adult once filed an official HR complaint because their coworker's sneeze was too aggressive? Welcome to today's countdown of the 25 most spectacularly ridiculous workplace complaints that actually happened. And yes, every single one of these is 100% real, documented, and probably made some poor HR person question their life choices.
25. In 2019, a marketing executive in Denver filed a complaint with their company's HR department, claiming that a colleague's use of the phrase "no worries" in emails was creating a hostile work environment because it implied there were, in fact, worries to begin with. The complaint was documented by employment lawyer Sarah Mitchell in her Workplace Disputes newsletter. Apparently, this person wanted everyone to switch to "no concerns," which honestly sounds like something a serial killer would say right before they ask if you've seen their basement. 24th, a receptionist at a law firm in Chicago complained in 2020 that her coworker was breathing too loudly during Zoom meetings, according to a report by the American Bar Association's Workplace Conduct Committee. She requested that the company provide noise-canceling headphones for everyone except the loud breather, who should be required to hold their breath during important calls. I'm pretty sure that's called murder, Karen. But okay. 23. In 2018, an accountant in Phoenix filed a formal grievance because their office mate ate bananas in a sexually suggestive manner, as documented by the Arizona Department of Labor's Workplace Harassment Division. The complainant provided a detailed 3-page report describing the provocative peeling technique and requested that all fruit consumption be banned from the office. Somewhere, Freud is spinning in his grave while holding a banana. 22nd. A software developer in Seattle complained to HR in 2021 that their colleague's screensaver of puppies was discriminatory against people who prefer cats, according to Microsoft's internal workplace diversity report. They demanded equal representation of felines, or the removal of all animal screensavers company-wide. This person clearly never learned that the internet was literally built on cat videos, which makes their complaint basically treason. 21. In 2019, a teacher in Miami filed a complaint with the school district claiming that another teacher's excessive use of exclamation points in emails was creating an intimidating work environment, as reported by the Miami-Dade Education Department. She specifically cited 47 instances of unprofessional enthusiasm and requested a punctuation monitoring system. Imagine being so dead inside that someone else's joy becomes your personal Vietnam. 20. A retail manager in Dallas complained in 2020 that their employees' habit of saying "have a blessed day" to customers was religious harassment toward non-religious staff members, according to the Texas Commission on Human Rights. The manager demanded that all employees use only secular farewell phrases like "have a day," because apparently the word "blessed" is now a hate crime. And "have a day" sounds like something a robot would say after its emotional programming got corrupted. 19. In 2018, a bank teller in Portland filed a complaint claiming that their coworker's use of a standing desk was showing off and making other employees feel bad about their sedentary lifestyle choices, as documented by the Oregon Bureau of Labor. They requested that standing desks be banned as discriminatory against people with sitting preferences. This is like complaining that someone's salad is judging your cheeseburger. Which, let's be honest, it probably is. 18. A nurse in Boston complained in 2021 that her colleague's perfume smelled too expensive and was creating class warfare in the hospital, according to Massachusetts General Hospital's HR incident reports. She demanded a fragrance price ceiling of $20 per bottle to maintain workplace equality. Because nothing says "I'm a mature professional" like getting triggered by someone smelling better than you do. 17. In 2019, an insurance adjuster in Atlanta filed a formal complaint because their cubicle neighbor's family photos showed an unrealistic standard of happiness, as reported by the Georgia Department of Insurance. The complainant felt that the smiling family was creating pressure for other employees to appear happier than they naturally were. This person basically filed a complaint against joy itself, which is honestly the most Atlanta thing I've ever heard. 16. A construction foreman in Las Vegas complained in 2020 that his crew members' habit of whistling while working was unprofessional and requested that the Nevada Occupational Safety Administration classify whistling as a workplace distraction, according to OSHA's complaint database. He specifically noted that the whistling was too cheerful for construction work. Apparently, this guy missed the memo that whistling while you work is literally one of the Seven Dwarfs' core job requirements. 15. In 2018, a librarian in San Francisco filed a complaint claiming that a coworker's quiet typing was aggressively passive-aggressive, as documented by the San Francisco Public Library's Employee Relations Department. She provided audio recordings and demanded that all typing be done with neutral emotional intent. This woman literally tried to police someone's keyboard energy, which is like trying to arrest the wind for being too breezy. 14. A restaurant server in New York complained in 2021 that their colleagues' ability to remember customers' orders without writing them down was showing off and creating unrealistic expectations for other servers, according to the New York State Department of Labor's Workplace Complaints Division. They requested that all servers be required to use notepads regardless of memory capacity. This is basically complaining that someone is too good at their job, which is like being mad at a fire truck for being too red. 13. In 2019, a graphic designer in Los Angeles filed a complaint because their office mate's desktop wallpaper of a sunset was too optimistic and interfering with their creative process, as reported by the California Labor Relations Board. They demanded that all desktop backgrounds be neutral gray to maintain workplace emotional balance. This person is literally so miserable that someone else's fake sunset ruined their day, which honestly explains a lot about LA traffic. 12th. A pharmacist in Houston complained in 2020 that their coworker's habit of saying "bless you" after sneezes was religious discrimination, but also complained when the same coworker stopped saying it, claiming the silence was passive-aggressive punishment, according to the Texas Workforce Commission. They filed both complaints within the same week. This person managed to be offended by both kindness and the absence of kindness, which is like being angry at both rain and sunshine. 11. In 2018, an office manager in Minneapolis filed a formal complaint because their employees' lunch always smelled too delicious and was making other people's sandwiches seem inadequate, as documented by the Minnesota Department of Employment and Economic Development. They requested a ban on gourmet or aromatic foods during lunch hours. This person literally tried to outlaw good food because it made their bologna sandwich look basic, which is honestly the most Minnesota passive-aggressive thing ever. 10. A customer service representative in Indianapolis complained in 2021 that their supervisor's use of the word team was creating cult-like behavior and requested that all group references be changed to workplace associates, according to the Indiana Department of Labor's complaint registry. They cited 23 instances of forced camaraderie in a single month. This person is so antisocial that the concept of teamwork triggered them into filing paperwork, which ironically probably required more human interaction than just saying okay to being on a team. 9. In 2019, a dental hygienist in Charlotte complained that her coworkers' perfect teeth were creating workplace intimidation and requested that the clinic implement a dental equality policy, as reported by the North Carolina Board of Dental Examiners. She specifically noted that patients were requesting the other hygienist more often, which she attributed to tooth privilege. This woman basically filed a discrimination complaint against genetics, which is like suing the sun for being too bright. 8. A tech support worker in Austin filed a complaint in 2020 claiming that their colleague's mechanical keyboard was acoustically aggressive and constituted workplace harassment, according to the Texas Department of Information Resources. They provided a decibel analysis and requested that all keyboards meet specific sound requirements. This person conducted a full scientific study just to complain about clicking noises, which probably took more effort than just buying earplugs or, getting over it. 7. In 2018, a social worker in Detroit complained that their office mate's habit of eating carrots was triggering because the crunching reminded them of bones breaking, as documented by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Workplace Safety Division. They requested that all crunchy vegetables be banned from the office. This person managed to turn a healthy snack into a horror movie, which honestly makes me wonder what they think about cereal in the morning. 6. A paralegal in Phoenix filed a complaint in 2021 because their coworker's daily 3 p.m. coffee was creating caffeine privilege in the workplace, according to the Arizona State Bar's Employee Relations Committee. They demanded that either everyone get afternoon coffee or no one should, claiming the energy disparity was discriminatory. This person literally tried to communist manifest coffee distribution, which is both hilarious and slightly concerning for someone who works in law. 5. In 2019, a museum curator in Washington, D.C. complained that their colleagues' extensive vocabulary was intellectual harassment and making other employees feel stupid, as reported by the Smithsonian Institution's HR department. They requested that all staff communications be limited to commonly used words to maintain inclusivity. This person basically filed a complaint against education, which in a museum is like complaining that there's too much art in an art gallery. 4. A hotel concierge in Miami Beach filed a complaint in 2020 claiming that their coworker's genuine smile was fake and creating unrealistic customer service expectations, according to the Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulation. They demanded smile authenticity training for all staff. This person was so miserable that someone else's happiness looked suspicious to them, which honestly explains why hotel customer service can be so hit or miss. 3. In 2018, a retail store manager in Sacramento complained that their employees' punctuality was making other workers look bad and requested that the company implement a fashionably late policy to level the playing field, as documented by the California Retailers Association. They specifically noted that showing up on time was showing off. This manager literally tried to institutionalize being late to work, which is like trying to make failing a graduation requirement. 2. A financial advisor in Boston filed a complaint in 2021 because their office mate's plant was too green and creating environmental guilt among staff who didn't have plants, according to the Massachusetts Securities Division Workplace Complaints Database. They demanded that all office plants be artificial to maintain botanical neutrality. This person was apparently so threatened by chlorophyll that they tried to ban photosynthesis from the workplace, which is honestly the most Boston way to overthink nature. 1. And our number one dumbest workplace complaint comes from 2020, when a government employee in Sacramento filed a formal grievance with the California Department of Human Resources because their coworkers' excessive competence was making everyone else look bad. They provided a 12-page report documenting instances of their colleague being helpful, knowledgeable, and efficient, and requested that the competent employee be transferred to a different department or required to make more mistakes to blend in better. The complaint was ultimately dismissed, but not before it made the rounds at every government office in the state. This person literally tried to get someone in trouble for being good at their job, which is like complaining to the fire department that their trucks are too good at putting out fires. And there you have it. 25 workplace complaints so ridiculous they make your worst day at the office look like a tropical vacation. If you've got your own workplace horror stories, the funnier the better. Drop them in the comments below. And hey, if this made you laugh, share it with that coworker who definitely needs to see it. Just maybe don't tell them which number they inspired.